Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. Minister of Education and National Reconciliation, Curtis King, has emphasized the importance of the promotion of mental health in the workplace. Minister King, who was at the time speaking on Star FM, made mention of a 2-day workshop on mental health, which he lauded as being an excellent idea that should be continued. We hear more from the Education Minister.
The Department of Adult and Continuing Education in the Ministry of Education and National Reconciliation had a 2-day workshop on mental health. And I thought that was an excellent idea. And it started a conversation that I believe should be continued. And I'm even saying, I hope even through the Employees Assistance Program that conversation could continue, but was more beyond the conversation also. And find ways of implementing measures that will promote mental health in the workplace.
That was the Minister of Education and National Reconciliation, Curtis King. According to an article by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, in the Caribbean and worldwide, mental health disorders are now recognized as the 5th major non-communicable disease and a major threat to health and economic development in the 21st century. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have expressed concerns about an upsurge in respiratory illnesses that appear to be circulating among the island's residents. Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Roger Duncan, stated that not all cases of respiratory illness tested positive for COVID-19, despite the ministry seeing an increase in the number of confirmed cases. He said, not every person with respiratory symptoms tested positive for SARS-CoV-2, so we're telling people, if you're sick, please don't come to work, report sick, and try to see your doctor. He believes that detecting which virus is circulating is critical for health professionals. He further stated, we have to test. Without test, we can only speculate, and speculation isn't good in these circumstances. Still on the local scene, Dwight Harewood, a 52-year-old resident of Spring Estate, who had a gun hidden in his dog pen, was slapped with a fine of $8,300 when he was taken before the court. On May 12, 2023, Haywood did not hold back his tears when he appeared at the Serious Offences Court on gun-related charges. However, he was able to escape jail time after the magistrate imposed a fine after making an assessment of the case. Haywood pleaded guilty that on May 11th at Spring Estate, he had in his possession one 12-gauge shotgun, make and serial number unknown, without license issued under the Firearms Act. He also admitted to having in his possession one round of 12-gauge ammunition. Prosecutor Colleen Samuel presented the facts that on May 11th at around 4 p.m., Sergeant 191 David and Station Sergeant Bristol headed a team of police officers on duty to the area of Spring Estate. This resulted in the discovery of the gun in the doghouse after being a search warrant. On the regional scene, 8 survivors recounted their ordeal in which one woman passenger went missing at sea. St. Lucia Times stated that the boat with ample life jackets had 9 people on board. The survivors shared their story as St. Lucian police officers announced the discovery of a badly decomposed woman's body at sea off Pigeon Island on Monday, whom they believed to be the missing passenger, Andrea. The survivors shared that it was a regular shopping trip for them, but while returning on Friday after clearance from the authorities in Martinique, 3 successive rogue waves hit the boat, filling it with water and shutting down the engine. Emergency responders were able to rescue 8 people, but failed to locate the 9th passenger. The decomposed body of the woman found came amid a massive air and sea search after the boat with the 9 persons capsized on Friday. Still on the regional scene, the police, teachers union, and parents association in Jamaica say they believe that more can be done collectively to stem against the backdrop of the pattern of violence in school, including attacks on students and teachers from reaching the learning environment. The country's National Safe Schools Coordinator at the Community Safety and Security Branch, Corporal Andrew Williams, President of the Jamaica Teachers Union, Lasandra Harrison, and President of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, Stuart Jacobs, disclosed last week that early intervention in homes and communities is a solution to steer children away from violence before it reaches to schools. Corporal Williams told the Jamaica Observer that partnership between the police, community groups, and schools to engage parents, students, and teachers have been beneficial. Meanwhile, Harrison has called for community interaction from groups, including the church, to guide children away from violence. Jacobs, on the other hand, pointed to a similar sentiment as he went further to highlight the influence of gangs on children. He said, children are products of our society, and if they live in a violent environment, they will continue to play it out in schools. We have found out that there are gangs in schools, and these gangs migrate from the community where the children live. And finally, on the international scene, the number of executions recorded globally in 2022 was the highest in 5 years, as several Middle Eastern states ramped up their use of the death penalty, according to Amnesty International. The group's annual review has shown a total of 883 people that are known to have been put to death across 20 countries, making a rise of 53% compared to 2021. Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt alone carried out 90% of those executions. The figures exclude China, which is thought to execute thousands each year. Information on the death penalty is classified in China, which has prevented Amnesty from making an accurate assessment about the numbers put to death in the country. The group was also able to confirm that executions were carried out in North Korea, Vietnam, Syria, and Afghanistan, but there was insufficient information to provide credible minimum figures. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.